why and need for semester leadership and different things. I'll turn it over to DeVante Wynn, where he went. Give DeVante a good round of applause for being here.
Get out your cheers first. Get out your cheers first. Get out your cheers first. I appreciate you coming out my new segment. I'll stay on this side, just in case. Will you press play for me? Yeah, absolutely. Karaoke. We won't be running without karaoke, right? Dr. May said I couldn't put on the Britney mic without doing karaoke, so here we go. I'm gonna say no again. Just a small town girl, living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere. First and foremost, I appreciate you all coming out tonight. Like Dr. May said, my name is DeVante Wynn, but we can get all to all the formalities just a tad bit later. First and foremost, we're going to start with Fix and Flip It. Fix and Flip It is a game that promotes positive self-talk, and it highlights how just positive speech can promote just good thinking and healthy living and the growth mindset that we'll all talk about tonight. So if I can get my partner Daryl to come up and we'll demonstrate what Fix and Flip looks like. So, Daryl's my partner. Give Daryl a little applause, absolutely. So Daryl's my partner. My job is to make a negative statement, and Daryl has the hard job of fixing and flipping it. And we all talk negative about ourselves, and we never really realize the effect it has on us because our brain can't tell the difference. So I'll make a negative statement. I'm so dumb, I can't do anything great.
You are a king.
Okay.
You can do anything that you put your mind to, just don't give up.
Okay, I like that. I feel better already. Okay. I'm such a failure, bro. Like, waste of fresh air. I should have just not even been born.
You were born with a purpose. All you have to do is trust God, commit to the process,
And do work, yes. I like that. I appreciate you, Daryl. So now it's your turn. Find your partner, somebody close to you, and fix and flip a song, a statement. All right, you got about 2, maybe 3 minutes. Anybody that's willing to share a negative statement? Anybody? Raise your hand, please. You willing to share your negative statement? Seems like you've been volunteering.
No, I know that's true.
You can volunteer your partner to go with you.
I'm good.
Okay. Everybody want to go?
I got you.
I appreciate you.
I'm untalented.
You have all the talent in the world. You just haven't figured out which one it is yet. Anybody else want to try? See, you won't even get bad. Anybody else?
See, your life is getting, college life is getting rough. At the end of the day, it's midterms and exams. I don't know if I can finish strong, and I'm just ready to quit.
Oh man, you're gonna never start nothing that you won't finish. You got this. Just trust God, commit to the process, and do work. That was an easy one, man. Give me one more. Give me one more. I appreciate you.
Brooke Ramsey.
Come on, Kate. No, not Kate.
I'm sorry, I can't hear.
If I were to die right now, how long would it take for someone to figure out that I was wrong?
Oh, God!
She said if she was to die right now, how long would it take before somebody realized she was gone? That's deep. Well, you don't have to worry about that because you got people in your life that care about you enough and won't let you get to that point. So what I got to say, my name is DeVante Wynn. I'm originally from Carrollton, Georgia. I came to Reinhardt originally on a football scholarship, as well as with my colleagues, and a part of the original class in our football team. I am the founder of Do Work Impact Group with these men that stand along the walls. It is our mission as a community organization to promote equity through education, empowerment, and encouragement. We do a lot of different things in the community, but at the end of the day, we just want to unite the community and promote that equity. I'm also a teacher and coach. I coach basketball and football at Temple. And like I said, proud alum of Reinhardt. If you want to follow me and get in contact about what we do and know more about us, information on the screen, I really appreciate you. That's a shameless self-plug. But today's discussion is growth mindset and the power of yet. We'll talk about, first off, what is a mindset, the difference between the two concepts, and then how the power of yet and how that positive self-talk can really make a real difference in your life. All right, so first and foremost, what is mindset? What is mindset? Anybody willing to define it in their own words? There's no right or wrong answer. We all have our own. Yeah. How you think about things. That's really good. It's probably spot on. Anybody got anything they want to add to it? And and he got it right. Just first try, home run. Great job. Well, too fast. Kendra Sherry pretty much said the same thing. She said your mindset is a set of beliefs that shape how you make sense of the world and yourself. It influences how you think, feel, and behave in any given situation. When you talk about a mindset and the difference between a growth and a fixed mindset, which we'll get into, you'll really start to understand and break that definition down to how you see yourself, how your beliefs shape your daily actions, so on and so forth. So, did you know around 80% of your thoughts are considered negative? Did you know on average we have somewhere between 12 to 50,000 thoughts a day? And I'm not a math teacher, I got social studies for a reason. But I know that's 40,000 thoughts a day that are potentially negative. Think about it. And think about what mental health is and what mental health awareness really is about. And think about the impact that 40,000 negative thoughts can have on your life if they're not handled and managed correctly. That's why if you don't have a growth mindset and know the difference between that and the fixed, you can really, really struggle on a daily basis. So, growth mindset. You've heard me say it a lot. I'm going to repeat that term probably 100 times tonight. What is it? Who came up with it? Where did it come from? Well, American psychologist Carol Dweck, in her 2006 book, coined the term growth mindset. First, she started by defining mindset as a self-perception or self-theory that people hold about themselves. She then went on to say that a fixed mindset is where people believe that basic qualities like their intelligence or physical or mental or cognitive abilities are simply fixed traits. They also feel like they're born and cannot be built, will never be developed. She went on to say that a growth mindset, people who believe in that concept believe that their traits and basic skills like intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work over time. That hard work beats talent until I don't work hard. So, what really is the difference between fixed and growth mindset? When I think about fixed mindsets and people with those type of thought patterns, the first word that I kind of think about is settle. They kind of just settle for life. Whatever happens to them happens. However the day goes, it goes. How's your day? They never take life by the horns. They never take control of anything. Matter of fact, they never really think anything is their fault. They just kind of let life happen. They also don't really give much effort because what's the point? I mean, the outcome is already destined anyway, right? God has control, all right? So why give it effort? Why care? Why try? They often even believe that the universe is actually conspiring against them. Like, and blame, it's raining today, of course. Today I wanted to wear my new shoes. Like, no, it's not that simple. When I think about people with a growth mindset, I think about progress. And I think about the process and them committing to it. And realizing that they are in control of their abilities. They are in control of their life. They are the captains of their fate, the masters of their soul. They believe that their skills can be built, like I said, through hard work and dedication. And they seek out opportunities to get better on a daily basis. They strive to just get better, 1% better each day. Or continue. If you break it down, really and truly what I'm talking about, in terms that you're all familiar with, a person with a fixed mindset is essentially a pessimist. And the pessimism in it is that they never, ever, or rarely I should say never, but rarely see the opportunity in any given situation. Ever. They often avoid conflict. They often don't take criticism well, often take criticism personally, and always has an excuse. They always suffer from BCD. Blaming, complaining, and defending. Everything they do. Blaming, complaining, and defending. Those are people with fixed mindsets. Those are people who show pessimistic traits. But a person with a growth mindset is an optimist. They actually seek out every opportunity there is. Every opportunity, all right? And they seek criticism because they know that in order to get better and be better, they have to know what they're doing wrong. They have to know where their shortcomings are. They often try to learn from those mistakes. And they often embrace challenges because they know when they step out their comfort zone, where does that lead you? Growth. So, now that you understand the difference between a fixed and a growth mindset, let me show this quick 3-minute video on the power of yet and a quick introduction on how powerful those 3 letters are. On the index cards that you have 3 minutes to write a power of yet statement. And I really want you to take your time and think of something that you've really been thinking about or working toward, or something that you've been planning and haven't really told anybody about, or maybe have shared it with someone. It can be something big, it can be something small, but I do want you to take it serious. If you're struggling, use the template on the board. I'll give you 2 minutes. Show us your power, yes,
I can't speak Spanish yet, but if I stick around with these annoying internationals.
I love it. Anybody else?
Oh, I don't need that. I want to be on Drag Race one day, that's all.
Okay. Can you put in a statement for me, power of your statement?
I can't be on Drag Race yet, but if I work hard and refine my skills, then I'll be on Drag Race.
There you go. Perfect. Love it.
Mr. Barnes, what about you?
I can't become a teacher and couples counselor yet. So if I continue to trust God, do work, and get my degrees, then I will be a teacher and a couples counselor.
Cam, you're all right with me, big dog. You all have volunteers, a round of applause. These are appreciate that. Power of yet. Yeah, it's powerful. These three words really have a true meaning in my life. These 3 words really, truly changed my life. Believe it or not, and I often don't get as vulnerable as I plan to tonight, but growing up, I was the only child of my mother, and I watched my mama work 2 jobs, sometimes 3. Grandmother struggled to help out as much as she could, and it still was just never enough. When I would leave and go to my father's house, despite that being my father, and I know he and my stepmother loved me dearly, and my younger brother loved me dearly, I always felt kind of out of place. I always felt kind of like a burden, like I said earlier, I shouldn't have been born. Like I had no place or no purpose in this world. Little did I know that I would go on to do great things. I just didn't know it yet. Here, let me backtrack actually. Growing up, like I said, I was my mother's only child and loved that family. I had 9 cousins. literally 9 cousins. I swear they made a pregnancy pact. They swear against it, but there's no way. You have 9 kids in the same family between October of 93, June of 94, and I'm the baby. There's no way. Literally, you didn't skip a month. Like, they blame it on the blizzard of 93, but whatever. Nevertheless, nobody on my family on either side had ever gone to a 4-year college, much less got a degree, ever, on either side of the family. And I got 2 really, really big families, all right? And growing up, I was taught, go to school, when you graduate, go get a certificate, find a good job, and work hard. And that just didn't sound too appealing. But in my family, you didn't really have many other options, and as I approached the latter years of my education, it really seemed like I had no hope. But I made up my mind sophomore year of high school that I would be the one difference, that I was gonna be the first, that I was gonna find a way to show my family, to show my cousins, my mom, my grandma, my dad, my stepmom, my aunties, my everybody, that not only could you go to a 4-year school, but you can get a degree. Not only could you get a degree, but you could get involved. I just didn't know how yet. The good thing about it, though, Les Brown says, how ain't none of your business. You just gotta wake up every day and do the work. So that's what I decided to do. Here, my junior year, it's probably my worst year of my life. In that year, that mother that I told you that I love so dearly, that mother that I told you worked so hard, she fell in the roughest times of her life. My house flooded. She ended up having to file bankruptcy because she was the victim of not 1 but 2 insurance frauds. Just came in and scammed her. What are you gonna do? Insurance ain't giving you no more money. So what are you gonna do? So you're dealing with that. Mind you, you all know how expensive this institution is. And I'm here. She's there, struggling to keep a roof over her head. Struggling with that. On top of that, that close-knit family that I was telling you about, had 2 uncles and an aunt died within 8 months. Struggling. Got to the point where I didn't care about anything. My grades, if you ask Dr. May, I was a pretty decent student. But that year, I didn't care. I was going to class in sweats and pajamas, sleeping every day. Just going to say I went so I didn't have to condition at football practice. I learned nothing. For what? It don't matter. I've tried so hard for all these years, and look at us. Look at the situation my family's in. What's the point? Why give any effort? I've been trying so hard and ain't get nothing yet. Just go through the motions. And it caught up with me. Because the game that I love, that I used to use as an escape from all of that BS, from all that heartache, from all that trauma, it wasn't fun anymore either, because it's never fun when you go from being a starter to then being in the rotation to finding your way across the field on scout team, and then finding yourself not even participating at all. Until it gets so bad where the head coach, who rarely says anything to you at all, comes up and personally wants to know, legit, what's wrong with you? You're not the kid that I recruited. You stop giving effort. You stop being joyous. You stop caring about anything. Your appearance sucks. Your play sucks. Your grades suck. You gotta figure it out. I gave him some sharp, snazzy little reply and had to run for it. But I knew he was right. I knew I had to figure it out. I just didn't know how yet. But I went back to my room, had a conversation with my buddies. And he played a song for me. It's Rick Ross off his Black Dollar mixtape. The song is called We Gon' Make It. And that song screams and embodies the power of yet. The song lyrics go, screaming tears in the dark, we gon' make it. Stove open in the winter. I remember, we gon' make it. I've been there. Stove open, mama struggling, we gon' make it. We don't know how, but we gon' make it. Somehow. Just not gonna win. power of yet and starting to remind myself that I am good enough, I am talented enough, I can figure it out, I just don't know how yet, that all this hard work that I've been putting in is worth something, that they say hard work beats talent, when talent don't work hard, and I had outworked everybody. So I started back. A lot of people didn't know it until they found out afterwards, but on top of working work study, I was found a job in Canton, and I was working my butt off trying to make ends meet, trying to send whatever little money I could send back home, and it wasn't working, and it wasn't much, and my mom's house wasn't fixed yet, but it was on the way. And I kept working and kept helping that semester until I could figure out something over the summer. You can't get those loved ones back that you lost, but you can glorify them with your efforts. So from that day forward, I made in my mind that I would find a way to do all the things I promised them. All the things that I told them I would do. All the glory I told them I would bring to the family's name. I would do that. I just ain't did it yet. I knew my mom clearly couldn't afford to take out another loan. I knew no matter how mad I wanted it, I couldn't afford to pick up another job. How was I going to pay for school? Well, find a way to keep your scholarships, DeVante. Find a way to keep the money you got before you lose that too. So I did. Started going to that Center for Student Success. Started finding tutoring. Started getting with this guy who's smarter than me, that guy in the green hat who's smarter than me, and getting tutoring. Hey bro, I need help. It ain't about my pride right now. I need help. I was gonna get my grades back up somehow, some way, but I ain't flunking out. I ain't going back home. Not today. Not yet. Got more work to do. I wish my cousin was here so he could testify to how hard I was working that summer when I went home. My schedule was something like this. I would wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I would work out for 2 hours to get my body trained for football. I would leave, take a nap. Take a nap, wake up, eat breakfast. At 10 o'clock, I was on the field again for my second football workout. I would then go home, shower, eat lunch, and from 12 till 4, I was working at the youth center. At 4 o'clock, I would go off, go see my mom for an hour. At 6, I would work from 6 to 11 at the mall. And I was doing that non-stop for 2.5 months during the summer. Because not only did I have to get some money to help my family, not only did I have to make sure my body was right to play, not only did I have to make sure my grades were right, I had to make it. I just didn't know how yet. And I did. When I got back to campus, I was in the best shape of my life. And they didn't know it, but they were gonna have to play me. They just didn't know it yet. And I ended up being the starter on one of the best defenses in Reinhardt's football history up until that point. Best shape of my life, because I put the work in, because I trust God, committed to the process and did the work. I figured it out. And I always would. I just didn't know how yet. Classroom. I ended up turning my grades around. I ended up getting back in good graces with my professors. I ended up getting back in good graces with the other student leaders and student advisors on campus. And I did graduate. And I did it in style. Magna cum laude. Broke that generational curse. Hey, you can get a degree in our family. You just ain't got it yet. And to be sure, I only got another one. And to double down on that, I'm currently pursuing an MAT right now. Because to be honest, I never planned to be a teacher. But in the essence of growth mindset, when I said that I want to give back to the people, when I want to impact the youth, when I say I want to talk to young adults about the positions they could be in, that I was in and I struggled so much, the big guy said, okay, I'm going to show you how, you just don't know how yet. And I ended up being in the classroom. I ended up coaching sports that I love. And it's the greatest thing I ever did. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. But it's also the most rewarding thing I've ever done. And I'm going to put it down, I just don't know when yet. So what I'm telling you tonight, that if you focus on those 3 letters, yet, no matter what you're chasing, no matter what you want to do, no matter what you're struggling on, no matter what you can't figure out, yet, you can do it. You just ain't figured it out yet. You don't know how yet. You ain't made it yet. Despite our struggles growing up, I used to tell my mom, don't worry, I'm gonna be rich. I'm gonna be rich. She's like, how, baby? I don't know. I'm gonna be rich though. I'm gonna be rich. I'm buying a big old house, we're gonna be rich. And growing up, you think, they're gonna be an athlete. Look at me. I play linebacker, by the way. Look at me, okay? I'm not playing first of all for anybody, but Mom, we're gonna be rich. That's what I know yet. Are we gonna be rich? And shout out to God, we are. Not in finances, not yet. Rich in spirit, rich in love, rich in support, rich in character, rich in impact. And that means the most. That means the most. That means the most. So ladies and gentlemen, when you talk about the power of yet and how it can change your life, this is the starting point, okay? You have to find ways on how to implement this into your life on a daily basis. And it starts with your speech and your willingness to accept certain challenges, certain adversity, and overcome certain setbacks. How do you do that? I'll show you. All right, first and foremost, you have to do more than just say it. All right, I wrote my shit. Think about it. I got it. No, you have to develop learning strategies. All right? Develop learning strategies. Find ways. First off, let's back up. First off, believe in yourself and your ability to figure things out. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe next week, but you will figure it out. You just don't know yet. All right? So then focus all your energy on seeking solutions. Because where your energy goes, your effort goes. All right? Your energy goes, your effort goes. So spend all of that energy focused on solutions, not the problem. All right? Number 2, seek and accept critical feedback. Critical feedback. Don't go ask your friend that's always going to agree with you. Go ask that friend that you really don't want to talk to because you know she's going to tell you the truth. All right? Or if that's too toxic and your relationship's too rocky and you don't want to do that, find your mentor, somebody slightly older than you, not somebody way off in your career field because they're too far gone and won't understand where you're at right now. It's been too long. That experience isn't fresh enough. But find your mentor maybe 1 or 2 steps above you that can remember what it was like to be where you are and can provide some tools, some tricks, some tips on how to get to where they are. And then when they get there and you get even, they can pull you up and it can be a great partnership. But you got to be willing to accept that critical feedback. Just accept it. The ability to discern what feedback is good feedback and bad feedback, what's for you and what ain't for you, that'll come over time. But just the first step is just being willing to seek and accept. Thirdly, you gotta have emotional intelligence. I've talked about fixed and growth mindsets, but this in no way is a pull yourself up by your bootstraps type of message. And be aware of your situation. Be aware of your abilities, both physically, mentally, and emotionally. Be aware of just your skill set and what God has blessed you with. Be aware of it. And figure out and be aware of how whatever situation you're in or battling will have an effect on you and your environment. Figure out how your environment has an effect on you and the situation. Last but not least, make better decisions. Don't ever put yourself in a situation that jeopardizes your opportunity. If I was with the homies, I would say, don't ever let them trick you out your position. Ever let them trick you out your position. You worked too hard to get too far to let somebody or something ruin your purpose. With that being said, decision making goes into knowing which opportunities are the right and the wrong ones. Every opportunity ain't for you. Even if it feels right, it might not be the right time. So just making better decisions about what you bring to the table, the value that you add, what you can learn from it, the experience and what it can do for you, and why you should even get involved. You have to be able to embrace the growth mindset. And since we talked about positive self-talk, I want everybody to stand up. Last time I asked you to do this, to stand up. Stand up. No singing this time, I promise. But I do need you to be loud with me, okay? I do need you to be loud. I do need some energy. I do need some energy. I do need some energy. I do need some energy.
I need some energy!
Yes, sir. I need some energy. So you're gonna say this with me, and you're gonna say it like you mean it. And this is something that I got from Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill wrote a book called Think and Grow Rich, and in one of the earlier chapters, this phrase is posted and it is said in big bold font. And it's something that's tagged on my mirror that I tell myself 1 or 2 or maybe 3 times a day. So it says, day by day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. I love the enthusiasm. Day by day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. You ready now? 1, 2, 3. Day by day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. One more time. Day by day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. Last time, like you really mean it. 1, 2, 3. Day by day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. And I swear, if you believe that, and you truly seek that kind of acceptance, you can be whoever you want to be. Whatever you want to be, you do whatever you want to do. All right? Whether it be a teacher, a coach, an entrepreneur, actor, what have you, whatever you desire, you can be that if you put the work in. If you trust God, commit to the process and do the work, you will achieve your goals. If you develop this growth mindset and be willing to accept the obstacles and the challenges and all that comes with handling this mindset, holding yourself accountable, holding the ones around you accountable, then you're going to be successful. This growth mindset is a blueprint to that success, ladies and gentlemen. I told you about my favorite song, We Gonna Make It by Rick Ross. On my graduation cap, the first time I graduated, I put, We Gonna Make It. That wasn't just a song title. That was hope. That was promise. That was a guarantee that we gonna make it. I just don't know when or how yet. All right? I'm your favorite worker, D-Wynn, and I truly, truly appreciate your time. Man, if you don't work, you don't eat, so do work, and Godspeed. Have a good night.